Yo. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure it's right. Yo. Welcome to Starring Light, my channel again. We back with another banger. If you're gonna get right into it. It's not gonna be long, but today, as you can tell by the title, right? So we're gonna talk about how it's not good for the feminine to be alone. Now, I want you to understand that when I say this, I'm not only excluding the feminine energy or the masculine energy to just males and females physically. Uh, Feminine energy is not conducive only to males or females in the human body. These are energies that we all possess. Some men have more. Yo, shout out Mystical Mysterio. Yo. Shout out to you. I'm glad to see you in here. Real big supporter of you, man. Hope everything going good, man. 100%. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. Let's get right into this thing because we ain't gonna be long, like I said. But check it out. None of these energies, feminine or masculine, is only conducive to um the male and female actual bodies. All of us possess these energies. Um, there's certain men, certain males who possess more feminine energy than women, right? There's certain women who possess more of the masculine energy than men. And that could be from an internal level or even a physical level as far as actual testosterone or hormones, which the internal do bend into the actual physical and manifest as like if like the masculine deals with more logic. If you're a female, even though you're in a feminine body, so that means usually you have more percentage of the feminine energy, aka emotions and feelings and whatnot. If you if you conclude yourself only to like your thoughts and feelings and you try to like curb away your I'm sorry, if you conclude yourself only to just your thoughts and your logic and you throw away to the side your emotions and feelings, over time, you'll actually start bending in more testosterone. Mentally, it'll start bending in to you physically. First it's eternal, then it turns mental, then you know what I'm saying. It's a process, but just know that that's the case. I'm not even trying to get too deep into exactly these things. Just know that that's the case. Um, I go for the feminine to be alone, but energy in general, right? That's why when you get water is feminine energy. Water is the feminine of the yin. So that's the most feminine energy. Water is always connected. Water won't last long just being by itself, unless it's a big amount of it. So it has enough water in general to sustain itself. But if you take like a little puddle, eventually that puddle gonna dry up, go right into the thin air. It will have to keep raining, aka adding more water for that water to connect to other waters. That's why you look at the ocean or the water love to connect. If you take two rivers, you know what I'm saying, and they have a stream and you break them to the point where they could run into like say a lake, they're gonna connect. Like I don't know, you just know there's certain rivers. I think I could is it rivers? Yeah, I think it's some rivers that even go into like certain canals, go into certain oceans or whatever. But just not even to look good too lost to the physical, just know water in general does connect because that's the heart chakra. Think about water, you think about emotions and feelings. That's like your ability to connect with somebody. You'll connect with somebody emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So that's like uh your ability to connect with others. You could say relating, but I would say more so just connecting in general from an internal point of view. Your ability to feel what somebody else is feeling. Your ability to, you see what I'm saying? Emotionally connect to another person. And without that, we would just be all airheaded, real logical. We'd be real dry. We have no emotions and feeling. We wouldn't really care about seeing somebody else's point of view, which everything has its yin and yangs. You don't want to be overly connected and feel everybody's situations because you're just going to end up manifesting that in your own life and also be able to more so to get taken advantage of. But understand that the feminine energy in general is best for it not to be alone because that's why you think of water. Water needs some type of guidance to the extent. Water is best led with guidance or it's gonna create chaos. It'll just be clashing into other waters, clashing into this. They're still gonna be connected, but it's just gonna create a lot of turmoil. So water is best to be constructed into some type of sense, to have a sense of direction. You know what I mean? Because of that sense of direction, that feminine energy is also very chaotic. Like, so let's talk about the energies, right? Feminine, and I'm gonna get right to your question, Mystical. But understand this: feminine energy is very chaotic in nature. Um, Chaos is chaos energy. Is chaotic energy. It is right brain. Right brain is not direction. All right. Right brain is not direction. It is not fixation. It is not analyze detail, straight to the point, narrow. You know what I'm saying? Point A to point B. No, it's very chaotic and all over the place. And that's okay because that's how energy is meant to be. But everything needs its yin and yang. Everything needs a balance. If you're too chaotic, you're going to need some type of sense of direction. If you're too logical, you need some sense to have, you know what I'm saying? You don't need the other opposite too because then you're going to end up being too dry. And everything's going to be too, structure to the point where there's no creativity in it. But that's besides the point. But so with knowing that's the energy, it works best with um a sense of direction. Another thing we talk about females, if you pay attention, I'm not saying that this for all females, but a lot of times feminine energy is best when it has others around it. It don't even that is man. Hold on, my phone kind of broke apart. Oh, my phone kind of went out. I think I'm back. But like I said, it's best females be in situations where even if it's just friends, females do better with a multitude of each other. Like they do better with other women. They do better when they're not just alone. When a female's alone, so that's very what's that word? It's just I don't know how to say it because I'm trying to watch my words because I'm not trying to come across as sex. I'm not trying to come across as offensive to anybody. That's possible because I'm not in the mood to ruffle any feathers. But I'm pretty sure I already ruffled enough feathers already. But just understand that is not even a negative thing. It's not a negative thing. This is understanding energies because feminine energy is like kind of is meant to be. Think like I said, it's like water. Think about it. Think of see. Okay, now I'm gonna logically put it out for you. Think about like I said, like with the puddle. That's water, right? That's feminine energy. You got a puddle somewhere. Eventually, if that puddle don't connect with no other water, that when it connects with other water, what happens? They all get together. Water gets together, and it creates a stronger current. They get stronger. They kind of feed each other. If that puddle just stay there forever, that puddle gonna dry out because it don't have no other water to attach to soak up its emotions and feelings, or to make itself a part of that so that it can be stronger and thrive and move and be free and vibrate. It's going to be stale and stagnant. And what happens, just like females in real life, as above, so below, whatever. Esoterically, emotions and feelings, physically, what happens to that puddle? That puddle going to stay right there. It's not going to be connected to no other water. It's going to dry out. And what is dryness? That's air. That's the air element. That's logical. Fix it. That's why a lot of females, when they be alone, or they're not getting no, they're not getting no, you know what, they're not getting no wean, no peen, you know what I'm saying, no ding ding or whatever. And then also if they also not in a situation where they don't have a lot of, if they don't have enough female friends that, because they be shisty, but if they don't have enough genuine female friends where they can at least still connect and be like, oh girl, and like have a good time, at least sometimes, it'll drive female out and they'll end up actually being more masculine. Pay attention. A female that be in that type of state where they be alone, I guarantee these be the females that they end up becoming more masculine over time. Because I know what I'm talking about when I talk about energies. Everything starts with energies first. The same way you use, like I say, with water. You take water, you leave it a puddle. Okay, it's cool, it's there. After all, if it's not reaching no other waters, no sense of connecting with no other waters, aka a female connecting with anything, either a male or a female, friends, then what's happening is going to dry it out. And we know the dryness, that's air, that's left brain, that's masculine energy, that's the yang of the spectrum. So that's going to make them be more left brain logical. They're going to start being more of the, I don't want to say the man, but they're gonna start carrying out more masculine traits. Which none of this stuff is right or wrong, but just understand that so you can know your energies and know what best that you need in your life. Everybody needs a sense of balance in their own life. Period. You see what I'm saying? And that's how to play out. But then what else? What else would I have to say? Yeah. So understand that, yeah, emotions need a sense of connection anyway. Because anytime you're in a situation where you heavily in your emotions, females live in this realm anyway. They live in the realm of emotions and feelings. And like I said, everybody got a different percentage level. Some women are more masculine than others. Some women lack emotions and feelings more than other women. Some women have more emotions and feelings, and have more waters and emotions and feelings that they deal with. You see what I'm saying? But all in all, the average female has much more of that energy percentage level than men because of the bodies that they came in. That's more receptive to that type of energy in general because it's more of a yin. You see what I'm saying? That's why women are like wombs. They take in, they receive. That's like a hole. You know what I'm saying? Holes, water, stuff like that. Water absorbs all that stuff. But just understand this before we get too far. Anytime, knowing that they in the realm mostly of emotions and feelings, think about even you as a guy, if you are a guy or anybody, if you when you think about when you get heavily depressed or something, or think about anything that just taps into your emotions and feelings, whether it's depressed or not, a lot of times you're gonna feel a certain need to connect more, or connecting helps. Like if you're a person, say you're a big crybaby, but you're going through something heavily emotional that you deep in your feelings. A lot of times, the best thing that can help you is somebody that can be there that can actually help you. Not somebody that's gonna be there and just tear you down, no, but somebody that's genuinely willing to help or relate with you. That's almost one of the best feelings ever when you're really going through, and it's somebody that's genuinely trying to connect and relate and see your point of view and share experiences on a positive note that can help you connect with that person to make you realize like, dang, I've been through this too. You feel like you heard. That a lot of times takes some of the tears away, even though it still might hurt whatever situation you went through. So, but having to deal with that all alone is worse, and it puts you even in more a deeper hell, a deeper darkness, uh, a deeper into your waters, deeper into depression. You know what I'm saying? Everybody may be different, but a lot of times energies play out like that. And then lastly, I want to talk about sexual healing as well. It's important for females that they get a certain amount of sexual healing, whether through themselves they go on that journey or with others. A lot of times, female sexuality are always targeted, but y'all also target each other. But I can't blame you because y'all also be taught to target each other too. So it ain't really nobody's fault. It's just this is what's going on in society. If anything, you would blame the government and powers that be for even manipulating society in that way for y'all to be indoctrinated in such ways. But just understand that the feminine sexual energy is always being attacked. So if female express herself, she gonna get way more backlash than a man who expresses himself. If a man be a hoe, he gonna be looked at as positive. Now I understand everybody's logic where they say like, oh, a man and a concubine, 1,000 wives, polygamy, all that stuff, and the woman's value may not be the same when they get worn out. They try to equate it like a car, but really none of that is fully true. None of that is fully lost. It's lies. It's true to all these things. But you gotta understand that these are not all. None of these are the starting points of the situation of why these things occur. Things manifest from an energy level first, and also understanding that women can express themselves in many different ways sexually, and it's actually important too because if you're a female and if you're not getting no dick, if you're not getting no peen, no ween, if you're not getting no sexual pleasure at all, it's gonna dry you out. Like I said, it's gonna dry you out, and you're gonna end up being I'm, I ain't gonna say not cold hearted, but you're gonna end up being like what they'll call a bitch, or you're gonna end up being much more harder. You might be more answer, you might be more fiery, but not in like the passionate, feisty type. You're gonna it's gonna be like coming across in a negative way, a very unrelatable, unharmonious way that people are not gonna want to be around. You see what I'm saying? And so that's important to understand. But it's important for everybody to receive that. Now, if it's so bad you just can't get with nobody, period, then the best thing that you can do is learn these things throughout yourself. Learn your own body, learn your own sexuality, and that will help you also as well because it'll put you in a different vibration. Um, but you still are kind of fulfilling these areas in many different ways. You're gonna still want that, you know what, eventually. But it's also important, like I said, to take the time and go down the path of learning yourself as well, because that'll also can fulfill that area to an extent. To an extent, you see what I'm saying, and definitely help out in many different ways um, in general that go beyond just the acts of pleasure in general. And I'm serious when I say that. So that's important to understand. But yeah, it's important. I'm gonna go back there and run through, and I'm gonna say it blatantly this time. So understanding that when it comes to the feminine energy, understanding that feminine energy itself is best accompanied with others. Feminine energies need to be a part of something. It works best in that energy to keep that energy thriving alive and keep that energy comfortable because the feminine energy needs to be comfortable. When you talk about females, females also need to be in a situation where they either have friends that they go out with or either have a man or some that they can connect to because that's still feminine energy physically played out in the physical. And you understand that feminine energy needs to be comfortable and a female will start drying herself out, aka having more testosterone, being more masculine, and her water is getting withered away, even if she's not aware of it. So it's very important for females to be a part of something, emotionally or physically with men or women, friends or a man. And also understanding that emotions need a sense of connection. I broke that down. Just like if you anytime you deep your emotions and feelings, that's water. It needs to connect. Like I broke down with the puddle, and the puddle of water somewhere is gonna dry up if it doesn't have no other water to connect to, right? Hell, even certain rivers and lakes, if especially if they're not a big lake, they'll eventually dry up years and years. If especially if it's real hot in the area and it don't get it don't got a lot of rain because rain that's just a connection with the waters too. It don't get no rain or nothing. Eventually over time that'll start drying up too. They'll start being like, oh, it used to be 12,000 feet deep back in BC. Then in the 1880s, it was now 900 feet deep. Now 2024, oh, it's like 560 feet deep. You see what I'm saying? So that's the same way it played out. Then it'll start drying up, drying up. So understand that emotions need connection, and also females and emotion energy and feminine energy in general needs a sense of sexual healing. It needs a sense of sexual fulfillment in its life because of the feminine energy need that even more so than men do. Even though they think men need it and men do, but men have a lot of other ways that they can actually express the energy and put it. I mean, I'm not trying to go get into the whole gender thing per se, but everything has its positives and negatives. Men have ways that they can put their energy into that a lot of times they're just unaware of, and they have simple ways that they can kind of disperse their energy real quick, so that they can kind of have more control of it. Men just don't be aware of their energies, but it can also play out negatively as since man's sexual energy is more so like the flame, the fire. It's like a burst, so it needs so a lot of times it do be pinned up, and it do need that little release a lot more times too. Sometimes with the man, because that fire sometimes build up. Sometimes, like I said, if it don't know how to be transmuted, it will turn out into it needing to be released or it need that fulfillment more so, because the women's sexuality is more so like water. So it's like think about water, how it boil. It took a long time to boil, but once it's hot for a minute. You see what I'm saying? But women have much more sexual attributes to themselves that they can transmute their energy through. I'm telling you, that's why I say if you women, you need to really be on understanding yourself. That see people, that don't mean go be a hoe. That don't mean go be crazy and shake and twerk in the middle of the street on top of. That's not what we talking about. That's not what we even saying. What we saying is it's a deep. I'm talking about. I don't care if you're alone in your own room. It's a sense of understanding yourself and being aware of your body. A certain sense of sexual healing. That this is organ energy. Like emotions and feelings is an organ energy. Sexual energy is an organ energy. When you look at the organ crystal, that pyramid, all these things are connected and linked. Once one's off, it can affect the other. And especially you being a woman, and women don't even really be knowing their power. Women don't be knowing none of them. Women don't really be knowing themselves like that. They think they know themselves, but they really don't. Anything that a lot of times these mothers are teaching females is based upon the predicated. It's predicated amongst something that deals with some type of masculinity. They try to equate something about being a real woman with some sense of masculinity. Oh, you need to get a job. That's a real woman. Oh, you need to do this. That's a real woman. People don't know what real divine feminine energy is. Nobody knows what that energy is because they don't understand that, first of all, in the first place. Now, I'm going to start doing more women things because I may not be a woman, but I understand these things. And nobody can sit here and say, you can't say this because you're not a woman, because it's stuff that I know that a lot of women don't even know about their own self, about feminine energy. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Same thing with some women know more about certain things about men. Now, nobody knows anything about the other gender. Um, but there's always certain little things that somebody may know more, they may be aware of, that they can let another person be a vessel for them to be aware of themselves too. And that's all I'm here for, because I gotta do some more of these, because I ran out of time now and it's starting to go into another video. But I did want to tell, I want to say that because a lot of times anything that they try to tell women, especially with a lot of mothers, they try to teach a woman about being a woman. You gotta understand at the same time, a lot of times that stuff is just another way of them trying to tell you how to really be a man. It's like you don't even, and I'm not saying that these things aren't useful, because in nowadays you can't always depend on the man, so you gotta be able to get it on your own, yes. But how you go about it is, and they'll try to make you think like work, 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 and they'll give you this super hyper masculine. So now you don't throw away all your emotions and feelings. You're not even connected with how you truly feel no more. This is why a lot of people be led into their own situations in their life. They're not even attached with their own heart chakra, their own moon, their own inner moon, their own emotions and feelings. They have the right intuition and psyche to what they should do in their life. See, I be seeing it all go down. You know what I'm saying? And women have a very high manifestation level ability. They just don't be aware of it, because they are the moon. Like I said, unless you got like a super high amount of testosterone as a woman, and to the point where your emotions and feelings are kind of dry, then that's the only time when you kind of lack a little bit more power than you're supposed to, because you're not polarized. But other than that, for the most part, just the average woman in general, the body that she came into, you know what I'm saying? They by default have a lot more, much more manifestation abilities. So they don't even know that they're like a moon, they're a womb. They actually can attract just by sitting and pondering and emotionally feeling something. You'll actually attract it. You don't even have to go out and do as much hard work. That don't mean don't work, bro. But what I'm saying is you have a lot much more of the attraction level, just like a black hole. A black hole is feminine in nature. Black holes are like higher levels of feminine energy played out on a higher level. You know what I'm saying? And females and men, we all play these energies out on a lower level physically. But that's that energy. What a black hole thing, it absorbs, it attracts everything. Women have a way much more higher nature to attract. They just don't. They just a lot of times don't be aware of their energy. Some people do, but a lot of times they don't. Especially not nowadays, with a lot of the way that certain these indoctrinated mothers were teaching their women how to be women, because they was getting taught by some patriarchal society about that's basically being pushed out by the man about how a woman should be. So the mother took that and think that that's the right way how to be a woman, not knowing that they teaching you how to be little man women. You know what I'm saying? And so the woman pushing that out to her child, like this is what it means to be a woman and stuff like that, and not knowing that you're teaching a woman how to really be like a man. You really teaching a woman, unless you're in some deep level of spirituality, you usually teaching your woman to be in a situation where they're actually cutting off and detaching from their own feminine energy, their own divine feminine energy. And see, and so that's where we get to where we are today with it. But with that being said, I'm 10 minutes in. I ain't even need to go this long. I'm gonna hit up Mystical Mystery, a question. You said, I have a question. What's the external physical traits of feminine and masculine people? What's the external physical traits of feminine and masculine people? I mean, well, that's a simple one. That's just that if you talk about external, then that's when we manifest and get bended into testosterone and estrogen. So testosterone is the external physical trait of masculinity. The estrogen is a external physical trait of femininity. And what estrogen does with you, man or woman, it'll make your features softer. It'll make you go more rounded. 'Cause remember, feminine is the round, the circle. Masculine is the square. And understand that because that's the key point. This is why a lot of times when men have higher testosterone, this is why their cheekbones get stronger. This is why their jawline gets more stronger and gets more sharp. This is why their eyebrows and the ridges on their eyes start to get stronger and more broader. Um, they bodies, when you think of abs, chiseled abs, that's cut. That's why they call you, oh, you shredded, you cut. You see what I'm saying? Because all these things play out on a higher level, but they actually bend in. And I don't care any realm of reality that you may remember that the circle is more correlated to the feminine. The square is more circulated to the masculine. You see what I'm saying? Um, and so that's why men play out the way that they do. So if you're a man and you have more estrogen in your body, you're gonna have probably a much more rounder face. You might have a little bit more face fat or just a rounder face in general. You might be even slim and lean with a puffy face or a round face. You might be in a situation where you carry a little bit more body fat, or if it's not even fat, like overweight, you might be like I said, lean, and you might have what they call them titty muscles, like on your chest. Your chest might be a little more flabby, but you're not even fat. You might be skinny and you like, man, why my chest so flabby? That's estrogen. Um, you might be more you're not as resistant to pain, so a lot of things hurt you, and that's because, like I said again, you're more sensitive. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, femininity is sensitivity. None of these things are right and wrong, but these are just energies played out, um, emotionally and physically. Understand that? Because um, sensitivity plays out physically as you may be more tend to harm, but emotionally applied as you be more receptive or sensitive to stuff emotionally too. So when somebody shows their emotional feelings on you, you'll feel that a lot much more. So it'll be much more impactful to you than it might be another person. But it also gives you power to be able to be aware of what's kind of going on. But you got to be aware of yourself first, and then from like I said, the feminine point of view, I said that the roundness, your body. Like if you're a man, you got a lot of femininity, a lot of estrogen. Like your glutes, your buttocks might start getting fatter because that's the roundness. You start gaining more fat in more areas. So your butt might get like fatter. It won't be like toned and actual muscle. You might just carry fat, like more fat dispersed all throughout your body. Or like I said, even if you are lean or let's say skinnier, thinner, or leaner, or whatever, you're still gonna find fat like around your chest area, your face may be puffy. It'll just be a weird circumstance. You might carry a little bit more fatness around your hips and stuff like that. Whereas if you got more testosterone, I told you everything will be more cut, chiseled, ripped. And here's the thing: you can have a high level of testosterone and a higher level of estrogen too. So the point where you'll have a high level of testosterone, your voice may be slightly deep. You may be able to build muscle, but you might have that extra level of estrogen around you too. See, so so you might play out some of those traits a little bit too, but you'll still be looked at as like, oh, he's strong because you still might have more so testosterone. Because you can have high testosterone and still have high estrogen too. You can have high estrogen, have low testosterone. You can have high testosterone, have low estrogen. You have high estrogen, have low testosterone. It just goes any way everybody's DNA is made up. Not DNA. Everybody's hormonal levels. You know what I'm saying? Is made up in different ways. So that's how it plays out. But the basics. Before I even went into all that, really, all you need to know is the basis is feminine, estrogen, circle, masculine, testosterone, square. And that goes in an armor reality. That's why women who start taking the testosterone pills, they start straightening up. They start turning into more of a man. They might build more muscle. Their face not as fat like it used to be no more. They start chiseling it up, or it'd be easier for them to build muscle. It'd be much more harder. And then logically, the mind mentally too, because round is like emotions and feelings, your ability to curve your situation and circumstance internally. Masculine is more so you being logical and analyzing and making sense out of something. That's the box, the square. Think of buildings, that's structure. That's why I play out mentally too. You'd be like, what do you talk about? Internally, circle. What do you mean? I mean like this. Why you think they always say women don't be always thinking logical? They just go off their emotions and feelings. They're not making sense out of their situation, aka making sense, squaring out their situation mentally. That's the logic. It's analyzing, structuring it out mentally, analyzing, seeing what makes sense out of each of the points, what makes sense first. You see what I'm saying? Adding more circumstances to it to be like, oh, I should do this, I shouldn't do this. So if I do this, it'll be the see that's making sense out of it. But if you circle, you're not making sense out of it. You just more so encapsulate it into your own emotions and feelings and going off of the feeling in general. So there is no angle or direction to it. There is no angle, no square, no angle or direction to it. You're not analyzing. You just going right for it, which there's benefits and powers to all these things. But you gotta understand that that's how these things play out. But with that being said, like I said, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm 25 minutes in, didn't mean to go this long. Shout out to Mystical Mystery Harper on answered your question. If I ramble too much, apologies for that. I did mean to get back to your question, but I wanted to get that out the way too because there was so much into it that I wanted to speak on from many different perspectives to get a full gist of the situation. You see what I'm saying? And how these situations and different things play out with everybody because everybody's situation is different. Whether you're man or woman, you see what I'm saying? And yes, we do begin indoctrinated too, and things we put in the food too to affect us, as well as the habits like in general that they indoctrinate us with it to throw our homeostasis off and our hormones off too. Because it's like an experiment. We like an experiment right now in lab, like a lab test experiment almost. Like you think of rats, that's kind of how they doing us too. But they doing it on a higher level. You see what I'm saying? But with that being said, like I said, I'm gonna let y'all go, and I hope y'all understood this video. Hit me up in the chat section, the comment section. It's been a minute since I've been on and stuff like that, so I want to come back on. I try to get more consistent because I got some more videos I gotta put up and stuff like that. So other than that, man, hey, y'all take it good. Y'all take it straight. I get back with y'all. Hit me up.